Hello everyone, welcome to another build order tutorial. This time we have Serral showing us how it is done in Zerg versus Terran. If you're able to follow along with this build up until about 9 minutes and hit those benchmarks while being hit by Hellions and Liberators and what have you, you are going to be hitting Masters no problem and even working your way to Grandmaster. This is a fantastic build and we get to see it just done purely with no harassment to propel you into being a better macro Zerg player. So start off with that 13 Overlord as you do in basically every Zerg opener. As a reminder, when it comes to Zerg builds, if I'm not talking, you're probably supposed to be building drones. Send a drone down to the natural. And take your 16 hatch. $18 extractor. 17 spawning pool. Go ahead and fill that extractor up. Get an Overlord on 20. When your hatchery pops and your spawning pool is done, build 2 queens and 4 lings. Get link speed at 100 speed and pull 1 drone off of gas. Get your 3rd hatchery. Get another queen at the natural. Remember not to get supply blocked from here on out. Start your Overlord speed when you have 100 gas and put 3 drones in your gas. So just add 1 more. Keep droning, keep droning. Get a queen and 4 more lings. Overlord speed should be done. Go ahead and get a scout into the Terran's main and natural. Get another queen and another pair of lings. And get a 2nd scout. This is when you'd be really seeing the tech structures be put down, like an armory or a fusion core. Get a queen and get 4 more lings. Start up your lair. Grab a baneling's nest. Take 2 gases at the natural. Get about 8 lings here. Make sure you have enough to ward off those hellions. Take another extractor. Grab your 4th base hatchery. Build an overseer. Start baneling speed. And get about 8 more lings. Now grab about 16 lings. And get 8 banelings. This is starting to be around the time you get pushed, depending on what build they did, so be safe. Also grab another gas and put down 2 evolution chambers. Macro hatchery in the main base. As well as grab that Hydralisk in around 6 minutes. Start up your 1-1 on melee. When your Hydralisk Den is done, get Hydra speed first. Around now, you should be fully saturated on 4 bases, so it's around 75 drones. And you should be focusing purely on producing army. Just macro from here, guys. Let's go on to the build discussion. The strengths can be adapted against early attacks and against mech. So, good starting off point for a lot of Zerg players. This isn't the safest build, but that is because he scouted what he had to do. So in that way, it is really safe. You still get Overlord speed, which comes still early enough to scout for... In this case, I think it was even early enough to scout for the earliest Hellbat attack, which is, yeah, really scary just because it's so early enough because there's a lot of units with it. But it also got a secondary scout on the normal armory time around 4 minutes. And in that way, it is very safe. You just have to know what you're looking for. So you can adapt against early Hellbats, against Liberator, against Banshees, against Battle Cruisers. And you can change over into Roaches if you're more comfortable. It can be kind of accommodated for easily when you've got the benchmarks down to deal with mech. Although Lane Bindling Hydra can also deal with some type of mech. I mean, it's just a good starting off point. The weaknesses. It's a pure macro build, so you don't get any early wins. This isn't going to be a Baneling bust where you occasionally just get wins because. And you have to know what you're looking at and what you're dealing with, you know. Serral gets in there, sees that it's a 3rd CC, quick 3cc build based off of timing certain things, and he figures, okay, with that and with a little bit of greed, you can get 630 drops, which he was more than ready to defend against in this build order, the video that was shown. So that type of stuff you're going to want to know. You don't have to know the exact timings. You don't have to be a pro. You just have to be wary of, okay, he might push with these Hellbats. Okay, he might push with these Medivacs, right? Those are kind of the common things we see when we see pushes. And as long as you've got a decent creep spread, you could be okay. But you still want to know what you're actually scouting for. You see a fusion core, you don't know what that means. I can't really help you. Later upgrades and other builds, but I really don't see this as a weakness. This is kind of common just in like almost all builds for Zerg versus Terran. I could go into the reasons why, but don't have time. I'm not really well equipped to do that. But basically, the upgrades are going to be later. Innovations 1-1 finish, like I want to say 30 seconds faster or even longer than that. So, but it can be accommodated for. You also don't have a lot of queens with this defense. You'll see probably in your own ladder games or your friends or even some pros go for upwards of 5, 6, 7 up to snoot levels of queens, right? Not really done anymore anyways, but especially in this build, you're not going to have a lot of extra queens so that if 2 die, you go, whatever, I still have 5. No, I think Serral actually only had 3 on the front lines, and he was pretty careful with them. So, I mean, keep that in mind if you have thus far been depending on those chunky queens to help you in your early game. Tips and tricks. Whenever things are made or built close together when you look at a build order, guys, try and pair them in your mind. You know, if I get a factory, I should maybe get a gas type thing. In this case, I get my gas when I get my evolution chambers, you know? It makes it a little bit easier, especially if you're not always going to be listening to this build, which I hope you step away from. You graduate, guys. I want you to graduate. So that can help you a little bit, even if it means you're not perfect like Serral. But it's going to help you a bit more when you're actually in the heat of the moment and you're like, evolution chambers, oh, also gas, yeah. It can help a lot. Place your first creep down at natural or first queen. This is actually just the blanket way of doing things for Zerg nowadays. There used to be some stylistic differences or some little tiny build order differences, but really just get a creep down with your first natural queen, that is. And if you start your third queen immediately, actually, you don't even really miss any injects, except, of course, for the first one. Hide third base drone preemptively so Reaper thinks you haven't sent it out. If the Reaper thinks you're going to send a drone out, it's going to be on that. It's going to be so annoying. In this video, you saw Serral actually send it pretty darn early, and then when he realized the Reaper was in fact on the way, he actually pulled it over to the side and didn't take as early of a hatchery as maybe he wanted to, but also he didn't have to wait and dodge around the Reaper and do stupid things to try and get it. He just hit it, and then Innovation didn't check for it. Spread overlords around the map. Also something that really should be done in every single Zerg build and guide. But in specific cases, of course, when you have overlord speed, even if they make a Viking, you just respread your overlords, you know? A Viking will kill an overlord even with speed, barely, but it does, it'll chase it down. But that just means that eventually it gets to your base, you kill it with queens, easy peasy. Send your overlords back out. It's an easy way to not die to stupid things. I hope you guys enjoyed the build. I hope you guys learned something from the build, and this helps you in your Zerg versus Terran. I'm certainly going to be trying to hit all these benchmarks as I continue to develop my Zerg. Please make sure to check out all of these links right here, as well as go ahead and check out my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/ZombieGrub, streaming every day of the week. Thanks all for stopping by my YouTube, and I hope to see you later. Bye-bye.